Hello crafty peoples, welcome back to my channel. I am going to finish up these ATCs that I've been working on for Deborah, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and finish or work on my friendship journal. So I worked on these a little bit last night. I was invited to hop in and participate in a joint live stream that had a couple of us on it. It was on the Spanky channel, and there were a couple of us in there, and I worked on these last night, and we just kind of I kind of did that a little bit in there. So I was kind of hoping to, this might work better with charcoal, we'll see. I'm going to add some shading to this little piece of fence that I put in here, and I don't know, yeah, I think these are watercolor pencils, and it would probably work better if I actually had water. I didn't know if spit would work, and they're not probably great watercolor pencils. I think I picked them up at Tuesday morning, which I've never really had an issue with any of their stuff, but they got an awfully lot of pink water in here. There we go. Well, I don't know that that's really going to do anything, except for make it really wet. So I think charcoal might be a better bet to try to do what I'm thinking. Although I got color on my hello pen. What are you doing, buddy? Hi. Come on. Want to say hi? Can you say hi? Hi, baby. Hi. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to the cameras? Oh, yep, you can say hi with your nose. Okay, get down. Go chew on your bone, buddy. And that was the puppy. Okay, well, I don't need your nose in my drawer. Still very curious. He is a year old this month, so he's leaving puppydom, although still very much puppy-ish, aren't we? Now let's see what I can do with these. They're a little wide, so it's actually getting a little more area than I need it to get here. Yes, you're a curious little thing, aren't you? I don't really know that that's the look I'm trying to go for either. I really just wanted a little bit of shading, and I don't know why I thought that I was going to do it with a silver gelato, but you know, it's not terrible. I still think there's an awful lot on here too, so it's taking away from my purple passion background. Are you just gonna lay in here with me now? Okay. So just hanging out today, doing some stuff in the craft room. I love charcoal. I don't like the mess it leaves on my hands, but that is easily rectified. That's kind of more what I was going for, and you probably really can't see it on the camera much. I already had a torch on that I was using. There it is. I don't know if that's going to work any better or not. To kind of blend this out, because I don't really want any harsh lines there. I'm just trying to go for a little bit of shading on the sides of these little rails here. Rails, whatever you call them. Fence pickets. Fence pickets. Yes. Are they fence pickets, buddy? So we're supposed to get a good amount of snow, which I'll be surprised if it happens. Because every time we're supposed to get something, we never really get much. And so I'll be real shocked if we actually get, 5 inches of snow and some ice like they say we're going to. But you never know. What'd you do with your bone? Did you leave it in the other room? So, yeah, I'm not sure that this watercolor pencil is going to do what I want, so I'm going to put it away. I really do want to try actually using those. On some watercolor paper, like maybe color some stuff in. Actually watercolor with the watercolor pencils, go figure, right? That's what you're supposed to do with them. If I can just get that to get on there where I want it, we'll be good to go. That one's they're a little big for these flowers, I think. But that's okay, we can make them work. We can make them work if they stop sticking to my fingernails. Usually I use like the tweezers because I think my fine motor skills are just not, I think I figured out that I just really don't have good fine motor skills. So like trying to tie thread or knots in thread and things like that are very difficult for me for whatever reason. And these are all attached to each other so that you can pull them off in a strand. I am just pulling them apart and voila. Okay, that's cute. I would still like to do where'd you go, Finners? He went upstairs. Some kind of an outline. Around some of these elements. Just, I always kind of like doing a little bit of a black outline. It seems to make things pop. So, oh, he's up there running around, of course. Then I have to worry about what he's doing. Okay. And I love outlining my little word and phrase strips for whatever reason. And I like it looking a little scribbly, so I'll kind of sometimes add extra little scribbly lines. Okay. And I was kind of thinking I wanted to go around this too. I think the other thing I needed to do is go ahead and do something around the edges of this, since I use that super thick cardboard. So I was thinking about just putting some paint down and just kind of like doing the edges like that in the paint. So, and I think, what you doing, buddy? I want to do yellow. I don't know why, because I ended up loving the yellow stenciling I had done on these, and you can't really see much. I think there was some right there on that one, but I really liked it. So I really don't want to get a lot. We'll see how this works, because I don't want to get it all up around the front too much. And I did. I'm gonna have to glue that little bit down right there that I see is sticking up. And I don't know if I'm gonna like that or not. The great thing about it is I can always fix it and do something different if I want to. But anyway, I just thought I would add a little something there so you just can't see that raw cardboard. And I usually don't make ATCs out of cardboard that thick, but this time I just thought, oh, why not? So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry before I decide whether or not I need to put another coat on. And then when that dries, I'm going to glue this piece down that's sticking out here. This is all, that's wet, but that's dry. I can lay it right there and let it dry for a little bit. I got a little note card to go in here with this, and I need to write on the back what they are, and I can do that real quick. I got a little container. I don't see myself having tons of ATC blanks, so I've already written down that I'm sending one out, and I put February 19th because that's when I started making them. So I'm just gonna put down Purple Passion. One of 12. And then sign my name, the dirty paintbrush. YouTube. Okay. And actually, I think I had 13. I believe one of these got sent in a swap, but I don't know for sure. So I'm just basically starting from this point from what I've got now. And then, yes, may I help you, sir? I hear you in here snuffing at me. What may I do for you? I'll wipe some of that paint off the back of here if I can. What's up, buddy? Are you bored? No, it doesn't take much for you to get bored. I'm sure Maddie's in bed. Why don't you go upstairs and get in bed? Or you could chew on your leg. That sounds like a great thing to do right now. Why not? All right, so I'm gonna leave this out because as soon as that dries and I'm done with it, I don't know that I love how the, I might have just had better luck inking that, and I may just go back over it with black and ink it. Hey, stay out of my stuff. It's not yours. That's not yours. It's mine. You can't has. You can't has. Oh, are we gonna be sassy? Finnegan, are we gonna be sassy? Okay. Dogs are like children, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay, so what I wanted to do with this. Hi, do you want to lay down? Or are you going to stand there and stare at me and wag your tail? You've already been outside. You wanted to come in. You have an itch? I absolutely adore this, this picture. And I used it in a tag that I had made for the 52-week tag challenge, and I was in love with the eyes and the eyebrows and the freckles and yeah, pretty much the lips, everything about it I love. So I think for the tag challenge I just had used the eyes. I think I want to use the whole image. I am not a good fussy cutter. I don't profess to be. I don't care to be. Because pretty much anything that I cut out, I'm going to embellish around it, or I'm going to draw an outline around it. So, so this was just a black and white. I wanted black and white specifically when I was working on that tag. And I still like the black and white. I like the look of it. So, and I've got some white paper left there, and I don't know that I care because I'm going to cover it up. This I loved the flowers. This was it was like a free download from Font Bundles, I believe. They do a freebie Friday if you sign up with your email address. Of course, they try to get you to buy stuff as well, but they have like subscriptions where you can download not just fonts, but they have a lot of SVG files and things like that as well. So they actually make like background papers and things like that. A lot of their stuff comes in SVG format so that you could edit it and use it with your Silhouette or your Cricut if you wanted to. I don't pay for any of those subscriptions, but I do look at their free stuff that comes out on Fridays. So this was actually, I love the original. The original image actually had like a deer. So there was like a deer's head here and big antlers coming out. And I love it, but I just wanted the flowers. So I basically just put it in Photoshop, took the deer out. I'm actually pretty proud of myself that I'm able to at least do basic things like remove parts of an image, like the background if I need to. And basically for what I do, because I don't do really any digital, graphics at all. All I do is get what I want out of the image, save it and print it out, and then cut it out and use it. So I would like to become more familiar with it, and I will probably do that as I go. So when there's something new that I want to do with an image, then I will probably go, watch some videos and learn how to do it then. But I'm not really into taking an overall crash course, because if I don't use it often enough, I'm not going to really benefit from it, because you have to practice it, and use it on a regular basis to really benefit, in my opinion, from something like that. So, and that's kind of what I had done with Premiere Pro too, when I'm not lazy and actually edit videos, which I don't do. I kind of got burned out on that a little bit because it takes time to edit them. And I think I talked about in my last video that I had some pretty big issues with the last one, and it wasn't the software's fault. It was definitely the ID10T error, or PEBCAC. Any IT people out there know what those mean probably. So yeah, I kind of lost it there for a little bit. So there's going to be no cute little intro on my videos because I don't want to go into Photoshop just to tack it on right now, or not Photoshop, Premiere. And it takes forever for Premiere to encode that stuff, in my opinion. I'm impatient. I mean, I have a decent machine, but it drives me nuts that it has to sit there and encode everything. And then when it uploads it to YouTube, YouTube turns around and encodes it. So I'm like, why am I encoding it twice? But I know that's because, you're smushing a bunch of effects and stuff in there, and it's got to, I guess, render all of that together into one seamless file. So anywho, I may look into making like a cute little simple overlay that I can use while I'm recording in OBS. I may extract a portion of my banner image maybe and use that. I don't know. With permission from Spanky, of course, because she made it. So I'm not going to fussy cut this completely. I'm just going to get a majority where a lot of this white is and call it good. So I was trying to decide, and I'm not sure, there may be too much of a curve on this, because I was kind of thinking of using it on her head, but I'm not sure that that's gonna work. Now I could fill it in with some Prima flowers, in the center. And I've got this other little spray here that I want to use too. I like this because it looks watercolor. Someday maybe I could actually paint something like this, but till then. So yes, and I also every Friday get some free stuff from Graphics Fairy as well, and I love her stuff. A lot of it's vintage and I really like it, so I use it in my stuff sometimes. So I actually sat down not too long ago and started actually organizing my downloads into some themed directories, because it was getting to the point where my downloads folder was getting chaotic and I was tired of searching through everything. So I at least categorize them into things like the holidays, and then like floral stuff and birds and things like that that were easy to just cut the edge of that leaf right off, which is not, I guess, a huge deal, but if I can avoid it, don't do it. So far I'm liking my Tim Holtz scissors that I finally spent the money on. Like, you know, I guess these just, I think these just came out last year, so I'm a little more in line with the pace than I have been previously. I told myself that I was going to save my Christmas money and wait till all the new stuff came out and then buy all the new stuff, and that didn't happen. Instead, I used a lot of it on Amazon and bought stuff that's been out for a while, but that I had just been wanting for a while, and I still haven't picked up any of the Arteza stuff yet, which I wanted to try, and I've seen some other YouTubers trying it, trying their products, and they seem really cool as well. So I wanted to get some of their brush pens, because like I need any more markers. I've got 2 sets of alcohol markers, and part of that was because my husband didn't realize when he bought me my set of Prismacolors for Christmas that he had bought me the chameleon markers 2 years ago for Christmas, which are also alcohol markers. And granted, they're a little bit different of a concept, because the chameleons are, their big selling point is that they have the blender in each marker, so that you can take, you know, one shade of red basically and use this built-in blender, you know, to make several different shades just by having one marker, rather than having, you know, 48 different markers, or, you know, like 6 shades of red. And I like them. The problem is I don't really use alcohol markers in mixed media, so that's probably, I don't know if it's just on my part, just because I haven't really tried to see if there's any way that I really can use them, or, I mean, I don't do a lot of stamping and coloring, and I don't do a lot of lettering, so, and you know, I could always cut that down. I don't have to leave it like that. What's up, buddy? You're back. You don't know what to do with yourself today, do you? I like that. I especially like this little piece to go under her eye. I think that looks super cool, personally. Maybe like that. If I can kind of get that to do, maybe I can do something like that. And then I could get some, I could watercolor some of my own flowers and stick them in there, or I could just get some Prima flowers out, because that would add some dimension to it, and I think that's never a bad thing.
So let's see if I can find some that I like. I can mess around with this until I get the look that I want. Some of these look like they have been through a hurricane. So, yeah, that might be a little too bright. Those colors are a little more muted, and if I don't have the right colors in here, that's fine, because I could either go over them with some white paint to lighten them up, or some, I really like that blue and the lavender, and I think this will work the best if I kind of do this around, like, not just in that spot to fill that in, but if I kind of sprinkle some throughout. We'll see. I'll play with it and see. I may not end up liking this at all, but you know, one of the other reasons why I really haven't done a lot of videos lately is because I feel like that I sit here and hem-haw about things so long, and I don't want to bore everybody to death doing that. So I figure I need to figure out a way to really have down a plan, which is hard for me because I am not to the point yet most of the time where I can just say, oh, I want to do this, and then sit down and have everything ready to go, and then bam, you know, do it like confidently. You know, I mess around with it and jack around with it for so long, and I don't know, it doesn't help when everything keeps moving around on me here. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not, but we don't know until we try, right? So I mean, I kind of like it. I definitely like the mix of the, and I think it'll definitely help if I go around here. My idea is to go around here and outline everything in charcoal and smudge it, and give it kind of a shadow. And if I could get away with it, I would like leave these leaves hanging out, and I'm wondering if I can go over these with some glossy accents to make them hard and more durable, so that they could stick out and still sit there and look. I just like the sticking out over the edge. I don't know, this could work. The more I kind of mess with it and play with it, and I think I might be able to get something going here that some of these flowers are in bad shape. I have had these for years, and I am pretty sure this was like an original big old plastic container full of Prima flowers. Like, they've gotten so much more intricate now. Let's see, which way does this go? Come on, work with me here. So some of these are like really bent up, and just, I don't know what the problem is here. This one does not look like it is the same color. That petal looks like it's a different color than the rest. But I'm thinking just a lot of tucking and overlapping here, like that, you know. So once you have that many, it starts to look like it's, you know, supposed to be there. Yeah. I think like that. I think that's the look I'm going for. So I know for sure that I like all of these flowers the way they are. So I want this here. Hey, leave the cat alone. Children. So yeah, that's gonna go right there, and that's gonna go think I liked it there. Something kind of like that. Yeah, but I wanted it more like that, so this is cohesive over here. So this needs to come back down. I think like, no, because I had it like this. See, look at me. I don't even, okay. I'm going to get my face glued down. Let me see, if I'm going to do charcoal around it, I do not want to do Mod Podge. I should be okay doing matte gel. Although I realize that matte gel is a little bit thicker and this is thin paper, so I really just need like a really thin coat of this. And I'm gonna see if I can't just mostly get it on this so that I don't have a lot of excess all over the place. I am pretty new to trying to work with this matte gel, but it was on sale and I wanted to try it for some more three-dimensional things, and just basically for this purpose, just like matte medium basically. So since I still have some Liquitex matte medium, I didn't buy any matte medium. I just went ahead and bought this matte gel to use. So as long as you use a thin layer of it, it's not going to warp your paper too bad. I tend to overdo it with even Mod Podge sometimes, and sometimes you just really don't need as much as you try to use. So still think I may want to go over the top of this when it's all said and done. And that was stupid because I've got to put this under here. So we're all right. So Ben, leave the kitty alone. Stop your whining, you big baby. Because I kind of had this in here like so. And I had it kind of covering the corner of her face like that. So we'll see. You know, the great thing about this is if it's a total flub, gesso is my friend, and I can literally just paint over it with gesso and start over. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, you know, that's not sticking because there's no medium up there. That would be why, dear. And I try to do this stuff like when I am home alone or people are sleeping, so that I don't have this problem. And then in comes the dog that cannot chill out. And I want this to be like about right there. And if I place that just right, it'll go right in between the I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this down on the, it's a lot easier for me to just put it down on the, get it placed where I want it, and then fill in the spots. I think I'm thinking like right here is where I'm thinking. So I need to, oops. Here. Get that off my. And I can imagine. This stuff smells kind of strong, I will tell you. I I can see that the dog is not going to let me do anything because he is upstairs now running around like a bull in a china cabinet. Cannot be trusted. So this is going to need to dry for a little bit before I'm going to start putting flowers on. And then I can go back and kind of ascertain where I need more gel. A little pink flower might go good in there too. Move that over. And I'm going to have to go care for these dogs. Ooh, I like the orange one too. Let's put that one in there. I'm going to have to go entertain the dogs for a little bit. And so I will probably be coming back and doing a part 2 of this. And it helps keep my videos shorter. So that way, if this interests you and you want to see what it looks like when it's done, you can come back and see it. And if you don't, then you don't have to. And then I don't have an hour-long video either. So this may be the way I have to work it until I can actually do whole projects in a shorter time span. So yeah. And of course, I love these big, already kind of made poofy flowers. I could make some paper flowers. But I like adding some of that dimension, which is exactly what I had done on that tag that I made too. So I had some paper flowers like this, and then I'd had some ones that I had made with the silicone form, whatever you call that thing, and hot glue, and then I had painted them, and so I'd added those to that tag. And for those of you that didn't see that video, I can just show you the reference I'm talking about real quick. So this is what I had done with the tag, and I just really love how this turned out. And I actually don't like these fibers at all. I actually don't mind the red because I kind of like the red and the purple together. But I'm not liking this one. I picked it out because it was black with purple nubbies on it, but I don't like the black. I'm not going to change it because I'm lazy. But I had done the same thing here. So here was the face, and I had just used a small portion of the face, and obviously I printed it out in a smaller size. But I had several different kinds of flowers, and then I actually had some gears on this one. So this was kind of a steampunky project, and I realized that I missed a flower center right there. But anyway, I could basically go in and do that with some glitter glue and just do a little glue dot and let it dry, and that will work. Yeah, the last couple of times I've used this glitter glue, both times I've like smeared it before it dried. I even tried heat setting it, and it takes a long time to dry. So that's gonna look cute, but that's gonna dry quite a bit. So anyway, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll continue to do short parts to this video, probably. So after the cover's done, then I'm gonna go in and start decorating pages and putting in some of the things that I've received from people over the last couple of years, so that I have a place to put everything that I've gotten. So thanks for watching, and hope everybody has a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.